We are about 3 weeks into the Triple H creative era, and people are definitely taking notice. What are some of the major and subtle changes that you have seen while watching the WWE lately? I think the easiest thing you notice when you just look at the last 3 weeks is purely, it's simple. I break it down. It's just direction. It feels like there's a plan. It feels like they're sticking to a plan. It feels like they know the destination, and now they're telling the story on how we get there. Certain guys are benefiting. Certain guys are suffering. Look at Elias or Ezekiel. Looks like he might have been written off TV. I'm not sure what they're doing there, but guys are going to suffer. And you can sense that Triple H kind of has, it feels like Triple H has been watching from the shadows while Vince was in charge. And so it feels like Triple H has always had this plan, and that maybe him and Vince didn't see eye to eye. But it feels like, to me, if I just broke it down in the simplest terms, maybe musical terms even, Vince McMahon was freestyling, and Triple H, he's writing structured songs. Triple H has a chorus. He has a hook. He has a verse. He has an intro. Vince McMahon was just out there freestyling. It was just, he showed up and it's like, hey, let's just make this up as we go. And I think that's what we're feeling. That's the difference we're feeling when we watch these last couple weeks. Because, direction is a funny thing. And it's easy to execute a plan. I'm not going to overreact to Triple H. I'm excited for Triple H, but I'm not going to overreact. Because in the first quarter of any sport, in any game, it's easy to stick to the game plan that you've been dreaming about all week, all month, right? First game of the season. It's easy. It's easy to be exciting. It's easy for Triple H to do this. What I want to see is when we get to the fourth quarter, when we get 6 months, we get a year out from this, can he keep the same energy? Because you can't have a surprise every week. You can't do it. Right now, WWE is back to being the pretty popular girl in pro wrestling. Everything's firing on all cylinders. They're the biggest draw. They're the biggest production. And it looks like even the IWC is talking a lot about the WWE. It's the first time in a long time I've seen a lot of people go, I haven't watched WWE in a long time, but I'm going to give Triple H a chance. To me right now, Triple H is basically the Anakin Skywalker of professional wrestling. He's bringing a balance to the force from a casual and an IWC perspective. We're getting longer wrestling matches, but they're interesting. They have meaning. They're not just there for no reason, so I'm paying attention. Now, if you want to dive deeper, and you have to, you can't just say it's direction, but if you want to dive deeper and look at the minutia changes, you can dissect the Triple H product even deeper. And here's what I really think is the key to what Triple H is doing. Instead of writing like this is professional wrestling, like they've written the last 20 years, Triple H has adapted and he's writing these shows more like their HBO or Netflix series. He's writing for TV. He's writing for a 2022 audience, for the mind span, the attention span that we have. These shows are all ending with cliffhangers. They're ending with big moments that are sinking their teeth into us. All of a sudden, we end the show and Dexter Lumis is arrested, but there's no mention of what was going on. We'll find out next week what that was all about. And there's a subtle through line that's kind of weaving itself through the entire episode that if you don't pay attention, you're missing things. These are all things that end up being water cooler talk. These are things that people talk about the next day. These are things that people get anxious for next Monday night. For the first time in a long time, I left Monday Night Raw, left the watching experience excited. And for the first time ever, I rewound the show. I got off Monday Night Raw. I looked up, what the fuck was that? Who was that? Oh, that was Dexter Lumis. Okay. So then I rewound the show and I went back and watched some of those promos again. I missed all that stuff. Man, I missed all that stuff. And that's what Triple H is doing. He's getting me, I'm ingrained in the product. And then after that, I went on Peacock and I looked up Dexter Lumis NXT work. Because I'm not familiar with Dexter Lumis. I knew who he was, but I'm not familiar. And I go, oh shit, he's got me so engaged with this product. I'm looking and watching things I've never watched. And now this through line and this arc that is going through the entire episode has me engaged, and I'm excited for next week. And also, he's got people like Kevin Owens. It's not necessarily breaking the fourth wall, but Kevin Owens is saying things that we know to be true. Everybody's watching WWE right now. That's why I did what I did. That's why I got rid of Ezekiel. And I think that was in a subtle way. There was a subliminal shot there. I think the Ezekiel thing was a little bit of a Vince McMahon product. And I think that was Triple H kind of telling the smarter audience, hey, I know that was good. It couldn't survive without Kevin Owens. We're going to bury that. We're going to get rid of that. We're going to get Kevin back to where Kevin needs to be. Kevin Owens is about to be a monster again. Ciampa is being given the spotlight to succeed. Rumor is that Triple H is out here sicking Shawn Michaels on people like Johnny Gargano. Killer Cross is now on SmackDown. Bayley's faction feels fresh, but not only just her faction. I feel like that faction it's breathed a new life into Bianca Belair, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss. I feel everything feels new again. And all it took was just a few Triple H tweaks. I don't know if we have enough of a sample size yet, but it feels like the direction we are going, it feels like there's less start and stop. It feels like less of like, we're going to start the story and the next week we're not even going to talk about it. It feels like Triple H has a destination that he's taking us to, and we're along for the ride, and it's not going to be a bumpy one. It's going to be smooth. There's going to be casualties. Ezekiel might be dead. We don't know. Apparently he's in the hospital. But in order to let KO be the KO that we really want, there's going to be sacrifices. You have to lose some of those things. I said really early on in the Ezekiel character, I don't know how this character works without Kevin Owens, because this is basically just an extension of the Kevin Owens story. Kevin Owens is selling the Ezekiel character to us, and once he's not part of it, how does that continue to work? I don't know. I ask myself, I don't know. There's a content creator. Most of y'all probably know him. He's an awesome dude, Sledge. He's on TikTok. He's on Twitch. If you don't follow him, go follow him. But he asked a question. He asked a lot of good questions. But he asked a question, and most of the time, I tend to try not to get involved in other people's content because I sometimes think it skews what I say. But I do pay attention when Sledge talks. And I listen to this question, and I'm probably going to butcher it. Forgive me, Sledge. I'm going to do my best. I didn't write it down. This is all off the top of my fucking head. But he asked, if everything that's happening right now was still happening, but it wasn't Triple H in charge, if it was actually Vince McMahon making these changes, will we still be giving this much credit? Now, I can only speak for me. I can't speak. A lot of times I speak and say everybody, but I'm going to speak for me. I can speak for me, and I say, as a casual fan, I've never really even thought about creative that much. I haven't thought about who's booking the show. I kind of just imagined there was a room of writers, and they knew what's best, and it was my job to stay out of it. It wasn't until I started doing this podcast that I really kind of got smart to the idea that like one man can affect this thing. Vince McMahon definitely had an effect on it. But I don't know that when Vince McMahon was in control, I ever blamed him for the product. I just enjoyed the product for what it was. Now Triple H has showed me a better product. I definitely praise him for that, but I don't think it's because of Triple H. I've never been a huge Triple H guy. I think I've jumped onto the Triple H train, but I don't think so. So if I was answering Sledge's question, I think so. I think if Vince McMahon made these changes and all of a sudden the product changed, even though they're so not Vince McMahon changes, they're so anti-Vince McMahon that it would be hard to see him doing it. But if he did do it, I would have been happy. I would have got behind it. So yeah, I mean, I guess just overall the change in the guard has kind of, it's been a good thing. I don't know that we saw it coming. We didn't know it was going to happen, but it feels like right place, right time. Unfortunate events, but it's got us a fresh WWE product, and I like the direction that the ship is headed. And I don't care who's captaining the ship. As long as the ship is headed in the right direction, I really don't care who is the captain of that ship.
Step in the ring, if you ready, let's go. Hey, casual wrestling community show. You already know, talking WWE. Keep it rolling and hosted by Notorious Nerdy D. Don't be sure that you gon' find. Tune in cause it's online. Hit 'em with a figure 4 leg lock, pile driver or clothesline. We bringing that heat like for show, but you